Hi friends, and welcome back to Gardening Suburbia. Today we are going to be doing a compilation. This is going to be shot over a few days for my first solo market. So today I'm actually not at my house, I'm at my dad's house and he's going to be joining me. I'm going to sneak him in. He's going to be helping me make something that I need for my booth. So last year my uncle handmade some beautiful cutting boards. He used a couple different hardwoods and made this really beautiful design. So it was supposed to be for the sunflower market that I ended up not going to because of some other things that happened. But I want to get this on display and give it a really good spot in my booth. And hopefully some lovely people can go ahead and get their hands on one of these. I have 3 of them and I want to make sure that they get to their rightful places. But today we're going to be making a stand and my dad's going to help me make it. He's a good boy. Yeah, he's a big baby.
This is James. Almost 12.
So what are we trying to figure out again?
Well, we're going to try to figure out how long the pieces, the leg has to be that sits on the table to keep it from falling over. And my guess is that it's like maybe 2/3 the height of that. But I don't know.
Okay. So you're using...
Let me see if I can use chat just for fun. Because supposedly you can feed it in pictures and have it understand.
All right, so essentially what my dad did here is he drew a diagram of the cutting board with the dimensions and then basically put that diagram into ChatGTP and asked it to do some harder math, which we could have done by ourselves. My dad is a very smart man, but he is also a computer programmer and loves to utilize programs such as ChatGTP to help him diagnose or find problems, to help him with his computer programming, as well as to solve math problems. So this is what we did.
It's trying. It's giving us math. Okay, so essentially, like, we could just go 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
What did I do with that? That's a piece of poplar. Would be enough. What am I guessing?
What are those? What are those?
Those might be perfect. Mine?
Yeah.
We just put a notch here in the front. We could see how stable it is.
Mm-hmm.
And we could router them.
Ooh.
To give them a nice roundy feel. Make fun of your dad. Not nice. But we can make a round, a nice.
All right, Dad, what tool is this?
This is our router. Router is, it puts shapes on things. So
I'm pretty sure me and Grandpa used the same thing for making the dresser.
router has a little bit. It can be this. At different shapes.
The cutting board.
Yeah,
the cutting board
he used a router to do that. Mm-hmm. He did it. I don't know that he did the edges with it, but he definitely did the
little cutouts. The juice groove.
The juice groove and all that stuff. So yeah, you have different router bits that you can use to do all sorts of things, like your doors. These kind of panel things, like this is wood, but the garage door, those typical panels, if they had been made out of wood, would have been done with a router.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm mansplaining. So.
There it is. Nope. Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, almost a...
you're not the one behind the camera.
All right.
Or in front of the camera. So we're making a very nice wood stand.
Well, we always overkill.
Yeah, well, it's more fun. You get to utilize all the things that you know how to do.
Remember how to do all the things you think you know how to do.
It's part of the process.
Sometimes you find out you don't know how to do what you think you know how to do. Okay, I think I left the screws in here the last time, so yes, they are there. This. What do I want to do?
I can also hold things.
Can you?
Yes, and put the camera down.
Well, sweetie, I need a Phillips head.
Look.
Well, except maybe. It would have been smarter for me to just do this outside the box.
Oh, add the bit.
Well, you know.
That's okay.
Whatever.
Like you said, it takes time to remember the things that you forgot. You needed to know.
Alright, so there's that. And undo this in here. And we allow. Oh, there it went. Oh. Wait, what? Yeah. So, you know,
You
we
getting
look right on the
The
flat
edge
of the
flush with the
you
table.
wanna at least get it close so that when you go to do the first cut, it's not going to be too much and not great, too much, too little. So that's probably too much. Doing it the wrong side. Alright, so those are the degrees way the frick over there. So 5 degrees is about like that. See back here. That's the wrong way again. We want it to go this way, James. We want it to lean back. See?
Oh.
And if I flip it over, I'm not going to get it to lean back.
Doesn't matter which side of the wood you do it on? What end? Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Like, trying to make that work in my head.
I'm sorry.
Oh, but, you're correct in one sense. I don't have to do it from this side. I can do it from this side.
Okay, yeah,
So-
okay.
If we, that's what I don't like about this. Nah, it'll be fine. Is 5 degrees good enough? I think it is. Yes, no?
It's a thing, it's what you told GPT.
No. How many inches is a little over 6? So the question becomes, like, how much room is necessary up here?
Well, I mean, it's going to be leaning back, so all the weight's
No. So the only thing is that this can split.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Once you get the weight on it,
Right.
it push against it and it'll pop it off. You just have, you're gonna have people like picking them up, putting them down.
Probably. It could, I mean.
We're freehanding stuff here.
It's okay.
This is not the quality of work that Amanda was talking about.
Oh, stop. It's gonna be fine. We're making a stand for cutting boards. The worry that is being had is that Dad is concerned that the weight of the board pushing on the tiny piece that's holding it up in the front of the board will either snap when people taking it on and off of the stand, and just wear and tear. Plus, yeah, we'll see. We're gonna see what happens. Growing up, my dad's dad, my grandfather, the one I've made a video about in my introduction video, he was a woodworker, and so most of my childhood I spent in his workshops creating wood masterpieces. We'd go over there so excited, and we'd create these little cars that we'd race down their ginormous long hilly street. We would create just beautiful, like fun little wooden trinkets. And so growing up, one of my most fond memories with my grandfather was actually creating this beautiful shaker style 6-drawer long dresser, and it's just such a fond memory with him. The smell of a wood shop, just, I love it so much. And being here with my dad in his garage, creating this really simplistic wooden piece to hold up a cutting board is just, it's something that's so so simple. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold on to this memory for a really long time.
Is that the way it goes?
Mm-mm.
Like this?
Mm. Look at that.
So now we can just make it pretty.
I think it's pretty
I think
secure.
it's gonna be fine.
Yep, that looks great.
Okay, so then we'll clean it up and make it look nice.
Yep. Dad acquired his glasses.
Cool. Here, I'll do my dad. This is my dad.
He did do that all the time.
Oh yeah, he did.
Oh.
Give you that look.
Aww.
Your own dad.
Grandpa.
Your own dad.
All right, so we did a test run, and if you can see that little edge right there, it just basically meant that this blade was just sitting a little bit too high, so it's giving it a lip. It could have been all right, and I could have just sanded it down, but I'd asked Dad to adjust it so I didn't have to do more work. It's more?
Well, no, it feels like it didn't get changed now.
Oh.
But I swear I did. Goodness. Okay, well, we adjust again.
Beautiful.
There we are. Well, shoot that. Why don't we true up these edges first? So let's switch the power part.
Woo!
This. Plug this guy in. And we'll use this to give it some nicer edges on the ends. Laser. That's new?
Yeah. Reminds me of Grandpa's garage.
Now we are all squared up.
Looks great.
Which is nice. Alright. Unplug, switch them again. Now if you want, we can, why don't we do this? Here, let's make this, don't unplug it, let's go back in. Sorry.
This one?
Yeah. We'll go ahead and we'll make that 5-degree bend on the front. Actually, so. Yeah, 5 degrees, maybe a little bit. Pretty damn close. Okay.
Ooh. Fancy.
Hopefully we make it through week there. Maybe not. We'll find out. I mean, I just weekend it now.
Just a little bit. That's fine.
But
Less than 5 degrees.
you plugged in? Oh, nice. So nice. Wait, do you want to do one?
Yeah. This one done?
Yep, pretty much. So essentially you're putting the same cuts on it? Here. Go ahead and use these. So, ooh, that could have broke it. So if it lands on that, it will break. It'll pop.
Okay.
So don't drop it on that. You may have actually. It may have survived. So, just a point is that this is recessed a little bit.
Mhm.
So keep your pressure
On the outside.
on so that it's always on the surface of this, not rocking. See
Right.
how you can rock that in? Because
Right.
that'll make it dig in and you'll get the wrong effect.
Okay.
So if you keep your pressure
On
on
this.
the metal surface part of the board,
Okay.
then it should come out okay.
Oh, dang.
Do you need do you want it down on the floor or do you want to do that a little bit? Does that make it you at the right height?
That'll be fine.
Okay. What?
It's just been so long since I've done wood stuff.
Oh, well, you seem like you're oh, here. This will work.
I think that looks great. All right, the next stop is IKEA. Gonna get a A-frame sign for out front of the booth, and then also tablecloth. This thing is only $20 versus I got something like this on Amazon. It's like $100. All right, so I was able to get the chalkboard. It's half chalkboard, half whiteboard, which I think is pretty cool. And then I got a new mixing bowl and a new utensil that's gonna help me get bagels out without bringing all the water out of the boiling water, because you had to boil them before you bake them. And so I think this little, it's like a wire basket, kind of, it drains the water. And so I don't have to worry about taking boiling water out when I take the bagels out. So pretty happy with that little shopping trip. Plus that board was only $20, which such a good deal compared to what I have found on Amazon. We are actually getting ready to go to Staples because I ordered a banner for my booth. It's not a big banner, but it will do, and I'm super excited about it. All right, friends, it is the next day. So yesterday we got the cutting board stand made with my dad, which thank you, Dad, so much. And then we also picked up it's actually a children's, it's like half chalkboard, half whiteboard. This is gonna be an A-frame sign that I put out in front of my booth. Just another way for me to get more attention to my booth. And tonight I finished my signs that are, well, half. I finished most, I don't know. There's my list, as you can see, is very long. I still have quite a few things that I need to do to prepare. Today we went to the grocery store and I picked up, I believe, we'll find out later, all of the ingredients I need for my sourdough goodies that I'm going to be selling, because I'm going to do some bagels. I'm going to do some banana bread. I love banana bread. And then, yeah, I think just bagels and banana bread. And then I finished the pepper section of my signs. Now these photos are not mine. I am just using them to help give a visual of what things will look like once they are mature. Just because some of these pepper plants I have not grown myself, so I used images that are not mine. But I just wanted to say that. So I got the peppers with names, pictures, and then their Scoville rating. And I then thought maybe I should make a little sign that has the Scoville rating and kind of give a visual of how those peppers line up that I actually am selling against each other, just so it's all in one place and maybe a little more visual for people. And then, yeah, there's so much more to do. I need to go through all of my plants and actually make sure that I'm making, I need to make sure that I'm going through my plants and setting aside the plants that I need for my own garden, which means I need to finalize my garden plan, which is not done. I have been using the Seed Time program, which has been interesting. It is a little bit more difficult for me, only because I'm typically just I have all of the plants outside and I just find a spot for them and I plant them. So it's a little different to have it on a screen versus actually like placing plants in places in three-dimensional real life. So anyway, I just want to do a little checkup. We are going to tomorrow actually set up my tent. I need to buy sand for the weights to make sure that my tent doesn't fly away, because that would be bad. I saw that happen last year with someone else's tent. Very big gust of wind. They had it anchored down and yet it still went flying. And I'd really like to avoid that. So I'll catch you guys up tomorrow. Friends, it's the next day. We are headed to Home Depot because I need to get play sand to fill up the weights for my tent so it doesn't blow away. And then I'm going to check to see for my little picture diagrams of the mature fruit. I don't know if I'm going to use paint sticks, just because that might be really cheap, or, you know, well, just cheap. Or if I need to get like some other kind of way to hang them. Because what I'm thinking is I have them in like those protective clear sleeves that you would put in like a binder, the pictures. And I have like the little like clip things that you would use to hold papers together. Not paper clips, but like the more sturdier ones. And I was thinking I would just like clip them to a paint stir stick next to all of the plants, and have them in multiple places so that people could see them, and also have them in multiple places so people weren't gathering in all in one spot. So let's head to Home Depot and see what we can find, and then I need to stop at Target and get some more shipping labels to make my sourdough labels, and also some more dehydrated blueberries for my blueberry sourdough bagels. There were far too many people for me to feel comfortable talking to my phone. But I was able to find play sand. It was like $4 for a bag, which I got 2 just in case. One might be good enough, but I got 2 just in case. If not, I can use the other bag to add some sand to beds that are used for root crops, because things like carrots and beets and radishes like a looser soil. So if it doesn't get used for my tent, it'll get used in the garden. And then I also got some yardsticks. Those were about $1.98 per stick, which is not bad. And then for the A-frame sign, I wanted to make it look less like a kid's play sign. So I got these eye hooks. I think, yes, I guess screw eyes. And I'm going to use this in place of where there's like this weird, like, well, not weird, but like the orange plastic piece. And then I got some twisted mason twine. This is, it says mildew and abrasion resistant. So this should work perfectly fine, and make my A-frame sign a little less kiddish. And it was fairly cheap. So let's head to Target now. Hopefully we can find everything we need and I can get back home, because I still need to take out some of my plants for their 6th day of hardening off. And so I'm going through and I'm marking all of my trays with whether they are for the market or if they're for my garden. That way I'm making sure that I'm getting all of the plants I need for my own space before I go off and sell them. So it's giving me a better idea of what I actually have, how many things of plants I need to get priced. I'm still trying to, obviously, I'm going through, and things that don't look good enough to take to market, I will not be taking to market. So like some of these lettuce leaf basils, I can probably condense to make sure that they are getting a full 6 cell, and then selling those that look good. But the ones that obviously don't look good. I'm not going to be trying to sell those. I had intended on selling zinnia mixes. We'll see how this goes. These guys might put off some actual true leaves before market. We still have about a week. And these guys, this is day 6 of hardening off. Typically, people say not to harden off when your seedlings are this little. I think I actually started taking these outside when they hadn't sprouted yet. So I did what you are said not to do by taking seedlings out when they're so tiny. But anyway, I have some zinnia mixes that I still need to figure out pricing on. Some of my peppers look kind of sad. It's like wilty. And I think it's because a lot of these need to be up potted. All of my peppers really need to be up potted, which I probably should have done a week ago, but I just didn't have the space. And so by condensing all of my stuff, I've opened up a whole bunch of spots. We'll see what happens. I probably will get rid of some of the basils. But anyway, I am marking my trays and making sure that I'm getting them set up for success this next weekend. In this next scene, you'll see me taking this tent and putting it together. I really just wanted to get practice in getting this thing set up, just because on the day of the market, I didn't want to have to worry about whether or not I was doing it correctly. And then I also wanted to make sure that these bags were filled with sand so that it would be held down and in place, just in case there was any wind. And the forecast was looking a little bit rainy for market day. Now, there are other weights that you can purchase for your tents. You can also use cinder blocks. I just kind of used what I had, and so I got sand. The sand ended up getting wet, which makes it even heavier. So it was a good 100 pounds holding this tent down. Please don't pay my messy office a mind. It is market season, which means I'm just, there's so much to get together. But that is my boyfriend howling with the dog. This is the board. I left this on here. I thought this was kind of cool, a little different. I could hang something from this. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But these are the hooks that I'm putting on, and I'm going to use this string to tether the two sides together. This originally came with this guy, and honestly, this just looks a little too much like the kid board. I want it to look a little more mature, and with not so much plastic. So we're gonna use the string this year. If I need to upgrade this next year, or even if I need to get a different board entirely, at least this got me to where I needed to get. So I'm excited about this. So I just need to finish getting the little eye hooks on the other side and then get this on there. Probably will need to burn the edges so that it gets a nice good seal. Hey friends, it has been such a long day. So I went ahead and I up-potted all of my pepper plants to give them more space. Plus they needed to be in individual cells like this because I had most of them in 6 cells. So I had to figure out what I was going to do because I didn't have enough of the plastic pots, but I had these little peat pots. These aren't my favorite, only because they do tend to dry out way faster, but peppers do like to have drier soil, so I think this is going to work fine. Typically when I use these, I will go ahead and just rip these off the plant before planting because I feel like it kind of constricts the roots. Plus, if this is above the soil line, it can dry out the roots more. So some of these pepper plants have a little bit of damage. Some of them look really good. Some of them are just kind of funky. But we've got all of the pepper plants up potted. I'm super happy to have them up potted. I went ahead and I set up my tent just to kind of give myself an idea of what everything would look like having plants in here. The big table is going to be mostly sourdough goods. I might use half of it for sourdough stuff and use the other half for some plants. I can put some plants on these big plastic dudes. These still need to be washed off pretty heavily. Same with my table because I used it to pot things on it, so it needs rinsed. I got my sand in my bags. I think we're moving and grooving. I got all of my pepper plants that are going to be for my garden set aside so that they don't get confused with the market pepper plants. I did go ahead and I got all of my snapdragons finally planted. These guys could have been put in the ground so much sooner, but I have just been crazy busy. So I have some other stuff like just randomly thrown on the beds just so that I could free up some of my trays so that these guys could be carried around much easier. I will have to be sure to let people know that these ones don't get to go home with people. I don't really mind if they use these black ones to take plants home with them, but the Bootstrap Farmer ones are kind of expensive and I don't really want to give those away. More tomato plants, eggplants. These are all of my tomatoes. And I got it named, tagged, and that one actually, well, that might be mine. I've got a whole bunch of zinnias on this, and then I did a mix bag of marigolds and a zinnia mix. These guys, I wrote down all of the varieties that were in this. It looks like one of the cells, oh, well, that one started to germinate. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might have to switch some of mine from here into those ones. But tomatoes are looking pretty good. Some of them are quite puny because the seedlings waited until I started taking them outside to harden off to actually start germinating. So these ones might stay here with me. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so we're getting things set up. I actually need to get this tent taken down because it is supposed to rain tomorrow. And well, actually, when I looked at the radar, it looks like this next week and maybe even market day, there might be rain. I'm really hoping that it doesn't rain on market day. I did that my very first market, there was rain. It only rained for a little bit and then it chilled out and people came flooding back into the park. So we'll see what happens. The spot that I have, I actually will post a picture of it because I finally figured out where my booth is going to be in regards to Westside Market. So I'm super excited about my spot. I'm going to be in the grass and there should be some trees in the area. I don't know if it's going to be completely shaded. If it is, that might be nice. I don't know. Depends on how warm it is. If it's raining, it might be a little cooler. Yeah, we're getting so much closer. I got all of my labels done. I made some new labels for some new varieties of bagels that I'm going to be making. So I'm making a cheddar jalapeno bagel. So I've never done that one before for market. So I made that label. I made a blueberry bagel label. I need to go through my POS system, the Square card reader, and make sure that all of the price options are on there. I'm also going to be selling, I think, some of my extra dahlia tubers. I do need to set aside some for myself, for my sister, and for my friend May. I asked both of them what varieties they would like. May said she wanted a surprise, and my sister wanted the cafe au lait, which is a big creamy dinner plate variety. And then also the creme de cassis, which is a lighter purple on the front facing of the flower, and then on the back of the flower it's a dark purple. So I'm going to be making sure that I get those to them. I think I'm going to finish the dahlias up tonight, and then I'm going to get my tent taken down. I'm going to spray everything off, and then I'm going to go inside. I put sunscreen on my face. My back, however, did not put sunscreen on at first, and so I got a little toasty. My dad would murder me if he knew that. Well, Dad, if you're watching, I don't know if you watch, I'm sorry. But I will catch you guys in the next day.